Well, this is my shed, it lives by a hedge in my tiny little yard. Swear you'll hear us harping on, so come join us for a chat in my shed.
Well, welcome to Shed TV. Great to have my friend Jon with us, a Welshman,
Thanks,
born
mate.
and bred, but living overseas at the moment.
Not quite.
Yeah, but it's good to have you with us today.
Yeah.
Do you just want to introduce yourselves to the Shed TV viewers, gang?
Yeah, so I'm Jon. I've been pastoring for about 20 years. I've just moved to Canterbury to be near family, and so I'm not pastoring a church at the moment, but I've known Mike for maybe, 10, 15 years of that 20 years. So
Yeah, Canterbury.
Yeah.
Bit posh right now, isn't it?
Well, I'm struggling to fit in with my accent,
Yeah.
obviously, but yeah,
Well,
generally
someone's
speaking,
got to bring some
it's
culture.
very good.
Yeah.
I'm married to an English woman, so
Right,
you
okay,
know,
yeah.
that's my saving grace.
And we've known each other 5, 6 years?
Well, I think it was more like 10, 15,
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
10 or 15 years even.
Yeah. We met when you were pastoring.
In London, in Aberdeen.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
I was pastoring a church
And
in
you
Aberdeen.
just come from Plymouth, Portsmouth?
Yeah.
Up there, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how's lockdown been for you? How's the whole kind of COVID season been for you as a minister and a pastor?
Yeah, I mean, wow, such a big topic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day, and that whole process. We talk about a caterpillar, chrysalis, and butterfly,
Yeah.
right? And like for me, COVID has been a place of constraint, a place like where the things we always used to do have been shut down. We just couldn't do it,
Yeah.
right? But what I'm trying to do is like just open my heart to maybe what God is saying to me about myself and church and life in that. And there's a word metamorphosis, right, around what's happening to the caterpillar in the chrysalis.
Yeah.
And when you go back to the root, it's just meta means change, morphosis means shape.
Okay.
Right, and if I think about COVID as like a place of constraint, like the chrysalis,
Yeah.
it's like, is there a change of shape happening
Yeah.
in those moments?
Yeah.
And I know you'll know, Mike, there's personal circumstances we go through where God changes us in the valley.
Yeah.
He doesn't often change us on the mountaintop, right?
Yeah.
It's in the valley. And, I just think, looking back, I could see so many guys in the Bible, Gideon was in a wine press.
Yeah.
Right? Angel turns up and says, mighty man of valor. Right? And he's
hiding away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David is in Jesse's house.
Yeah.
Right? Just tending some sheep. He's an insignificant teenager.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God turns up and he says, this is a king.
Yeah.
And then Peter in the fishing boat. It's a small place. He can't go anywhere. Like he can just walk around, 20 feet. Place of constraint.
Yeah.
Jesus says, I'm going to change, in this moment, I'm going to change you to be like a fisher of men.
I think it's quite amazing when you look at like that analogy that you've said about that the season that we went through, the 18 months, God had an amazing way, not that, there was lots of negatives about it, but amazing way just to literally strip the floor of church.
Yeah.
Like all of the things that a lot of people put value on were just gone, weren't they?
Well, right, we'd always, I'm sure you would have heard, right, Mary and Martha.
Yeah.
There's this saying about Martha, who's so busy doing stuff.
Yeah.
That we're so busy with the work of the Lord, we've forgotten the Lord of the work.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we've just come through a season where we couldn't do the work of the Lord in the same way.
Yeah.
So what have we've had to return.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine is a guy up in Merthyr, used to drive lorries in a quarry, right? And typical Merthyr day, it was raining.
Right.
Right? And he was driving his lorry he picked up some stone coming down this hill. And he tells this story that in the mud, his lorry starts to slide, right? And it slides over and into a ditch. And he's now looking down the side of this really steep slope.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, Mom, the lorry could just go tumbling down here. I've lost my life, right? Next thing you know, he says, there's this massive bang, and I'm stopped in the middle of the road. He stops the lorry, opens the door, gets out, looks up, and there was a massive boulder in the ditch.
Right.
And God speaks to him in that moment and says, I was the rock in your rut. I was the rock in your rut, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, man, okay. Sometimes when we get ourselves into a rut,
Yeah.
you know, and whether that's the church,
Yeah.
because, you know, there's loads of stuff about what's happening with the mega church and all that sort of stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
There was before COVID. I think
Yeah.
that's even bigger question mark now coming through COVID.
Yeah.
Certainly for Gen Z, you know, our younger guys.
Yeah.
They're like saying, where is, you know, do I really believe in a mega church? Is it authentic? All that sort of questions. You know, and I look back and there's been some moments in my life, difficult moments, right, where God says, I was a rock in your rut.
Yeah. I love that.
Just a moment where, like, you're heading for something that's not great.
Yeah.
And maybe the church was heading for something that's not great, you know, and it's a whole different episode, right? Did God bring or allow COVID? Let's not even go down that road.
Yeah.
But he did allow it.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, I guess, like the butterfly, is that God forming something beautiful in a place of constraint.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I look back on my limited ability, so the last 80 years of Christianity, where we had a post-war generation where they needed a message, if you die, you go to heaven. They needed that, you know. We went through that season where that was really important. Then we went through like the whole kind of discovering the whole spirituality of Christianity and prophecy and all of these things. And it all got a bit flaky at times, and I remember going to church and a guy sharing a testimony that he found a stick on the way to church. You know, and I was like,
we've all heard that, you know,
And then we had to go through the whole kind of thing where we had to get reorganized, get a bit smarter, but not lose. And then, you know, we hit COVID. And I look at my 16-year-old son, none of that stuff really means much to him. He just wants to see genuine people.
Authenticity. Man. You know, if we can't find something authentic, these guys are just going to walk away. And I think, so I mentioned, you know, the Gen Z guys, they need something of love that's authentic. They're not interested in the big event so much. Yeah, for sure. You know, there's a place for that. But fundamentally, they want to feel that they're connected to something authentic.
Well, you know my friend Pat Sparrow from California. You know, he's a great voice in my life. But we were talking the other day on the phone about similar kind of stuff, and he was saying 80% of the young people in his church don't call his church their home church because they go to every church. They just don't have the boundaries that we traditionally had, you know. They're just going and trying to find a community where they can find love and value, and they're not worried necessarily about the razzmatazz of it, if that makes sense.
But also, so, you know, at the moment, I'm not pastoring in a church, but I'm working. And what we find, we're interviewing guys now, and the guys are coming up and saying, I only want to work 30 hours a week. Or I just want to do 3 days a week. No, we never even contemplated that, right? It was 5 days a week. It was Monday to Friday. Now, there's this culture and this generation that's coming up, and this is not, I don't think it's so much the millennial generation, the sort of 30 to 40s group, right? This is the late teens, mid-20s group. They've got a whole different set of values around what they're looking for in their lives. And I think we've got to be completely aware of that.
It's completely acceptable in that generation to live in a camper van and go to church and put a shirt and tie on.
Sure. Like,
if I said to my dad 20 years ago...
The only thing I find frustrating, right, and this is like, I don't want this to turn into a grumpy old men conversation, but the only thing I do find frustrating is, so I speak to my daughter. My daughter's 25, my son is 23, and she's like, I'm not going to go to any church unless their social media is great. Right, so it's like, oh man. So what, they're looking for something authentic. Right, but the medium of communication is completely technology based.
Well, we had two guys join the church. They've been coming regularly and so they'd both been meditating. They're housemates, right? They've both been separately meditating and getting into things like on God and stuff. And this voice kind of spoke to both of them. They should go and find a church. So they went on social media. And because my face keeps popping up all on, and they saw the original Shed TV in the shed, and they walk in the bit. I was like, oh, Pastor Mike, and I was like, whoa, and they're like, we know all about you. I was like, well, we've never met. I know we've been following you on social media, and
so it has to be authentic, but it also has to be tech savvy.
As
well, and we've got to combine those those two things.
I think the days of knocking on doors.
Oh, for sure.
It's the day of the Instagram post and the Facebook post.
I think the message is still the same.
Yes.
So for me, the message, right, is Ephesians 1. It's like the message for this generation. I mean, is before the foundation of the world.
Yeah.
I chose you.
Yeah.
Right. I think every single teenager needs to hear that message.
Yeah.
You are valued. You weren't a mistake. God ordained this moment for you.
Yeah.
And we speak that value and beauty and life into them.
Yeah.
That somehow there is a creator over all of this, and he saw you before he even shaped the earth.
Yeah.
And as we do in that, we speak destiny and grace into their lives. And I'm a believer in the love of God draws people to commitment, sacrifice, all of that sort of stuff. I really don't believe in like, right now, guys, you comply with these rules. I just don't think that works. I think love draws, love wins in that sense, So I think the message is the same.
So I know we've talked about this in the past, about, we have a generation of young people coming up that don't have the stereotypes that we grew up with, how do you think the church is how do we have to handle that? Because we have our theology and we have our foundation, but some of these stuff is just not even on the radar.
No, I know. And I think, there've been guys like, that we don't talk about sometimes, like Rob Bell and Brian McLaren, those sorts of guys, right? The progressive Christian guys. Well, let me tell you, this generation is going to be more into that sort of thinking. Yeah. And we were uncomfortable. Or, when I say we, I mean the church was uncomfortable with the whole Rob Bell raising those questions like he did, or the progressive Christianity of Brian McLaren. But their message, which is like, stop looking at the things that divide us and look at the things that join us. Is a message that the teens guys. So, for example, right, really, for some people, a really difficult topic is homosexuality. Yeah. These guys are going up and saying, man, we cannot treat people differently on the basis of their sexuality. And I guess some of that, the thought space we've got to get into is like, let's show the love of God. Stop putting down this box, these stereotypes. We've got to get with this thing that guys want to be loved for their individuality first.
I wrestle with that,
For sure.
And leading a church with, with kids that are in that bracket, because we talk about stuff like that around the dining room table. And it's just not even on their page. And I'm like, I've got my granddad talking in the back of my head, and I've got my 16-year-old talking in front of me. It's like, how do we navigate that as Christians and as leaders of churches?
So I remember once I was pastoring in Aberdeen. It was a communion morning. The elder that was looking after the communion table was slow, right? And we were quite a big church by that point, and he was breaking bread. It was taking forever, And this woman got up and started breaking bread on the other plates that he hadn't got to yet, right? And so this woman was a methadone user, and an ex-prostitute. And I was like, I was split in my mind, right? I was like, oh, that's going to cause me some hassle as a church leader, right? Confession time. It's like, I'd have people come up to me after maybe at that time and say, what are you doing allowing this? And then I was taken, though, to another time with the same woman where she said, John, I was reading my Bible, prostitute crying at Jesus' feet. There was a knock at the door, a guy come for that sort of stuff. And she said, I knew I could turn him away. And I'm like, oh, man. So people are on a trajectory of change. Right? And I think it's that trajectory we look for. We don't look for perfect people. We don't look for perfection. When we bring people into leadership even, right? We look in to say, okay, if you're still on methadone, that's okay. We can journey with you. We can just be there in your ups and downs. There'll be times when people offer them stuff and they might succumb to that.
Yeah.
You know, I love the Psalms, steps of a good man ordered by the Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
even though he fall, he won't be cast down.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
God will uphold him with his hand. I mean, you know, like we journey with people. And so I think, you know, for me, it's that. Love people through transition and change. Not everybody will make it.
Yeah.
Right? They will make it to heaven. I really believe that. I'm not questioning salvation.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm talking about making it into the next senior leader of the church, you know?
Yeah. Well, the church I ran before this one, my youth pastor's brother got murdered in Australia, quite violently. And he'd come from the gang. So I met him in our village.
Yeah.
He was on the run from the Mongol mob. And like that's how I met him, and he was like frightened. But anyway, he went on to be a great youth leader. But then this event happened, and he didn't turn up for church one Sunday night.
Yeah.
So I went and found him, and went and knocked on his door. Everybody in the house is off their head on drugs.
Yeah.
And I just went and found him, picked him up, said, "You're coming with me."
Yeah.
Took him home, fed him food, and then I said, "We'll have a chat in the morning." And he said, "So am I fired?" I'm like, "No, you're not fired."
Yeah.
You just and I get why you did what you did.
But I think that's the authenticity. See, so there was a time in my life where we used to wear our best clothes to go to church, right?
Yeah.
And we'd have our hair looking nice and everything, and we'd go in, we'd smile, we get asked the question, everything's fantastic, right? And all hell would be breaking loose at home.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the guys don't want to hear that.
No.
They don't want to see that pretense. They don't want to see people come bright and shiny. They want to see authentic people, broken people, coming into an encounter with the presence of God. And I think, look, right, it's like I haven't got a brand new message for you. For me, it's like seek first the kingdom of God. And I think this is what God is bringing us back to.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on a second, guys. I'm going to cause you to pause all of your events, all of your agenda, all of your plans.
Yeah.
And I want you to come back to this place, seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, and then all this other stuff will come.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, oh God, how stupid are we? Of course it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, let your kingdom come, let your presence, may we know Jesus, when we gather, may Jesus be present.
Yeah, yeah.
May we know a grace encounter in those, and may the Spirit do some crazy stuff, and reveal something of God that we've never seen before. I mean, for me, that's fantastic, and we see lives change.
Yeah. So what's next?
Wow. You know, I'm really struggling a little bit with this thing. Because I don't know whether it's nostalgia or not, right?
Okay.
But for me, one of the most amazing moments in my life with the Holy Spirit was around the whole John Wimber, the early Vineyard stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because for me, he was a catalyst in the worship arena.
Yeah, yeah.
Being a jazz musician like he was, right? And he was Baptist and then, just had this amazing God encounter. What I saw birthed then in early Vineyard, I'm like, oh God, can you do that? So that would be, I guess that would be like my revival type prayer. It's like, oh God, do that again in my generation.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what I saw back then,
,
which was just like an outpouring of your Spirit. For sure, unity is an issue. I'm sure we'll touch on how do we keep unified.
Yeah, yeah.
But above everything, authenticity, the grace of God, just holding off our agendas, our programs for a moment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Finding God again and Him moving in a fresh way.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I actually think the Gen Z generation is the vital, and of course we're going to say that, right? We pastors say that about every generation, right? But for me, they are the vital generation. And even if we look back through the guys that were real reformers, like the Elim guys, the Jeffries brothers, these guys were like teenagers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, and I guess it's coming back to the thing of, there's a king in Jesse's house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, can we as pastors, right, take such a risk on teenagers and God pour His Spirit out on them in this season, right, that they would be really revolutionary.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, and I've done the whole megachurch thing myself. I've been in that area.
Yeah.
And there are some real positive. Every morning, every Sunday morning, right? It's like a conference Sunday morning. You know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I just think these guys now, they're looking for something where they can connect.
Yeah.
Where they can feel like they heard and listened, and it's just a different place.
I think unity needs to come around a sound.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's a great idea.
Not around. Do you know what I mean?
That's a great idea. Yeah.
You know, like how do you play that sound, and how do I play? It will be different, but it's got the same sound. Do you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
I might get the bagpipes out, you might get your guitar out, but we're playing the same. There's a sound resonating.
That's a great picture, right? Because I think so throughout Ephesians, right? Paul is saying submit.
Yeah.
Right, and we always see that on first reading as like a hierarchical thing.
Yeah.
Right, do what your leaders are telling you.
Yeah.
Even like dare I say, do what your husband's telling you. Like that's a whole other topic as well. Right, let's not get into that because I don't think he's actually saying that. But when you take this word submit, right, in the Greek it's hupotasio, and what he really means is stand shoulder to shoulder.
Okay.
Right, so that like the testudo, this. When the Romans went into battle, they formed that tortoise or turtle thing, right? Where they put their shields together and then put the shields over the top.
Yeah.
Like a scrum, right? Or let's take it. So me and you are in a scrum.
Yeah.
Right. God's called us.
Yeah.
And can we do that? Let's do that.
I don't know if we're going to get on the camera.
Well, so right when we get in a scrum, we like this, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right. And what we're doing is submitting to each other.
Yeah.
Right, because all of a sudden, the two of us then become one unit.
Yeah.
Get it? Right,
yeah,
and we know the best scrums, obviously Welsh.
Yeah.
But the best scrums work as one unit.
Yeah.
Right, and what Paul is saying all the way through, submit to one another in love, you know, and even in the marriage situation, he's not talking about being subservient. What he's talking about is become one.
Yeah.
Right, become one together. And I think I love this idea of sound.
Yeah.
And we becoming one around a sound.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
I interviewed Jon, the pastor of Church on the Move.
Yeah.
And we ended up talking about sport, you know. And I think for Wales, for this contact, you know, like I look at the Welsh rugby team at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, they're not that great.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to follow patterns and procedures.
Yeah, processes. Yeah.
Look at the rugby team of the 70s where it was a couple of mates on the pitch having fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And they knew a style.
Yeah.
They knew they were going to play flowing, expansive rugby.
Yeah.
But every player played that game how they wanted to play.
So what are you saying? Are you saying it's more heart than head?
I think so.
Because when we overthink it, when we think we've got all these things laid down, then we lose something that's happening when we do it by heart or intuitively.
Yeah. Because I've got to have the security to let you be you.
Yeah, for sure.
And me to be. I'm here to. If you go off track and start adding things to the Bible, I'm there.
Yeah.
But how you express in wherever you are and how I express is to do with what God's vision He's given to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll champion you.
But I mean, when you say, I'm there, don't forget now, the picture that Paul's painting is I'm shoulder to shoulder with you.
Yeah.
Let me read a scripture, right? And I know it's not the sort of stuff but I read this the other day in the Message version.
Yeah.
Right, so this is Ephesians 4, and Paul's, this is crazy, like mind-blowing in the Message. He says this, in light of all this, here's what I want you to do. While I'm locked up here, a prisoner for the master, I want you to get out there and walk, better yet, run on the road God called you to travel, right? So that's our message to the guys, isn't it, right? I don't want any of you sitting around on your hands. I don't want any of you strolling off down some path that goes nowhere. And Mark, you do this with humility and discipline, not in fits and starts. But listen to this, right? But steadily pouring yourselves out for each other in acts of love, alert in at noticing differences, and quick at mending fences.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on, that's just what you've just been saying, right?
Yeah.
Alert at noticing differences, but quick at mending fences. And then he says, you were called to travel on the same road and in the same direction. I think we forget that sometimes as pastors.
Yeah.
Right, and God speaking that over us and like just reminding us of that unity, you know. Yeah. So stay together, both outwardly and inwardly. You have one master, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who rules over all, works through all, and is present in all.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, all right, okay, I'm pouring myself out in acts of love. I'm watching out for differences, and I'm quick at mending fences.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
Wow. You always have an ability that whenever you come into my world, you're able to undo me. I love you, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love the genuine.
it's just getting.
I love the fact that you carry a pastor's father's heart, but with authority. You know.
Bless you, man. Bless you.
What would be your prayer for our nation?
Wow. So it starts with me, right? It's like, God, may I know you closer,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm not happy with where I am right now. And I look back and I think, I'd really love always to walk closer, right?
Yeah.
But circumstances in our lives don't fight against that sometimes. I fight against it, you know,
Yeah.
the other part of me. And so it starts with me, and then it's like, okay, God, connect me with some guys that have your heart,
Yeah.
and light a fire in that community.
Yeah.
And may that overflow to the city I'm in, the county I'm in, the nation I'm in. May we not have words to express and move your spirit again.
Amen.
Over our nation.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks
Bless you, mate.
for coming in the
It's been
shed. We need to do this again soon, like really soon.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for travelling from overseas to be here and making the trip. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching Shed TV. And if anything that me and John have said has challenged you or you want to know more, just contact us. We'd love to unpack it with you. But thanks for taking the time out for watching us, and we hope what we've spoke about has blessed you.
This is my shed, it lives by a hedge in my tiny little yard. Sway